Hey, come on in. I want you to meet Britta.
Nice to see you.
You as well.
Oh, good to see you. Hi.
Hi,
I'm Britta.
I'm Roger.
Nice to meet you.
My pleasure.
What are you carrying?
Oh, a 40 liquor.
Through downtown Portland.
Nice.
Just for fun.
Just
gonna get some
props out.
Yeah, so we really came together as a group of people originally to create positive global impact, and it sounds kind of lofty and huge and silly, but it's real. That's what we wanted to do, is positively impact human beings in our life. And originally we were working on a different project together, and it brought us kind of into this apparel world, and it was more on the way of business and activity and all these things. And along the way we met with so many great people, and one of those people, her name's Lisa, she said, "Do you love this? Do you love this?" It was a prototype, and I said, "No, I don't." I don't
honest.
love it. And she said, "Really? If you're in this industry, if you don't love it, don't do it."
Yeah, it's not
And
good.
I know that's our mantra for all of life, but it's interesting when you're developing this product, all of a sudden you forget, you gotta love it too.
Yeah.
You know,
And
I
so
totally
often
love what
you're-
I do and I love business,
Yeah.
but you gotta love your design.
Yeah, and I think
love the concept, the proto comes out, and you're like,
not so
oh,
much."
I don't love this.
But
Yeah.
were you in the medical field?
Not
to
at all.
begin with, or
Actually,
how-
residential construction.
Oh.
So,
Residential construction to bra. Just
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And my master's degree is in public administration and community planning, and I worked with juvenile offenders, and then I got into construction, and I say it's kind of the same.
You know, Britta, I love that because what it says to me is that there is a science of design, a process, how we go about it. Whether it's a bra or a house, if you understand that and you stick to that, you're going to have great products that will connect whatever the end user is. And having worked with Holly, I see all of that she brings from a different category to come in.
We all have these great ideas, and I think everyone does. You're sitting in the bathtub and you think, oh, I wish I had
Like
da da da. And so you have these great ideas and you have these concepts, and then it's actually putting it into production and making sure your business thrives and creating a business plan and marketing it and selling and distribution. You know, so those are the pieces that sometimes that's where someone with my background, I'm like, hey,
You've got
operations,
those.
I have that.
Yeah.
And with design, I realized in working with our experts and our consultants, and no matter what world you're in, it takes a team of people, and there's always someone who knows how to do it better than you.
Yeah.
So find those people.
Yeah.
You know, we were headed down a path on doing apparel, and the concepts were great and they were beautiful, and the protos came back, and we were way too far into it in terms of investment to not love it. And
Too
but I
late to
got
turn
so
back.
caught up into, oh, I just really love this concept, and I felt like we had to stick with it. And we went to our second round of proto, and I still was just not feeling it. And kind of at that same time, we had an oncological surgeon say, boy, there's nothing out there for post-surgical bras and binders. And they showed us, I wish we had it, a 70s kind of tube top thing with elastic in it that they're putting on women. Some women are just sent home in an ace bandage. Some women aren't sent home with anything, you know, and with all the technology we have out and all the amazing fabrics, that there's nothing, did not make sense to us. There's this big vacuum.
So you started with just a standard bra to begin with, and then it turned into kind of a post-surgery, or no?
Well, we had dual concepts at the time. We were going to do a binder and a bra. So we had two products that we were going to build, and at the beginning of our conception. And then that, when we got through protos and we got through all the processes, this turned into both a bra and a binder because we found the technology together. But we started out with two. And in fact, the jean on our very first product, I want to tail back to the jean though, because I think it's pretty cool how we decided we wanted to find the best of who does this, who builds sports bras.
That's how I found it too. I was Googling bra development because I was working on bra development on the swimwear side. And she popped up, and luckily based in Portland. So I was like, hey, wait a second, she is right here in our backyard.
And what was great with this project is how much science there is, understanding from the surgeons how the breasts need to be held for the healing to take place.
Upper pole and lower pole
Yeah.
and axillary and
Well,
testicle
after
flap.
30 plus years of studying breasts and bras scientifically, it was so cool that this was a different area for my expertise, but everything I've learned from the breast that moves under a lot of impacts and how we build structures to hold the breasts in, it was just such a perfect fit. And for me, when you're a designer, you look for new opportunities to grow. And this project was so challenging. There were different sorts of forces and things that we had to deal with. Medical aspects, drains, all of that. And then I think the psychological aspect of a woman who's just had part of her body that really defines a lot of our femininity as women carved up, maybe removed. And that need to feel comfortable, attractive, secure, to be hugged.
Yeah, to be hugged.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A huge part of who we are is we want to work with people that are like-minded, that have passion for life, that are positive human beings, because just like everything else, that energy you put in, you get back out.
Yep.
And so we want to put really lots of love and positive energy into our product, and so we work with people with that in mind.
Yeah.
And we're at that place where we don't have to work with people that aren't of that
Aren't
mind.
on the
So
same
it's
page.
really great.
Such
The
a
first
great-
time we met, and just getting to know who we were, what's important. And I remember saying to the team, at this point in my life, I'll be 68 years old this year, I only want to work on projects and with people that where there's meaning and purpose, really making a difference in life for other people. And with Holly's group, it's just like we're all so like-minded that way. You get up in the morning and you know that what you're going to do that day.
And you're excited about it. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I firmly believe that translates into the company and into the brand and into the product. So how long has it taken you guys from, say, initial concept or idea to get to market?
Well, in some ways it feels like a really long time, but in development terms it's not been. It's been 2 years. So, and that's where you have the right product, you have the right team, and things just move. So from actual first proto to production and actually selling, it was 2 years. But of that 2 years, 18 months of that was wear testing, different protos, different timelines. And it was a total of 6 prototypes to get to our final product. And we already have these little tweaks and changes that we want to do for our next production run, and that's one of the things that we want to do is don't become stagnant. We always want to be moving forward with a better and better design as we learn.
And as you get more customers out there wearing it,
our public,
and you get the feedback, you can really listen to that and kind of make adjustments.
And we have a community that's really into feedback, so it's been, it's been
Very
awesome.
vocal.
Yeah, and on Instagram and Facebook and social media has really taught us a lot about our product, where people are wearing it and how they're wearing it.
That's really, and the name of it I thought was interesting too. The name of your company and
so Prairie Wear, we really wanted to choose that vista that we have some connection to and the love for, and that blue sky and green field and the wings of the bird, and
it's kind of a sense of freedom and being out.
Well, and on the prairie, she has such a sense of renewal and longevity and strength. You have a very harsh winter, and you still come out of that on the other side with flowers every year. So pretty amazing. So that's where and our logo shows that.
The surgeons came to
Yeah,
studio.
studio.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
Talk about
And you
quick-
put them on a fit model and showed them exactly
A fit
woman
model
on
who
the
would have
treadmill.
breast surgery.
And the fit model, that was great that she'd had breast surgery and she was crazy about it.
Yeah.
It was,
And that was authentic. Like that's
yeah,
real
that was so
feedback,
cool.
right?
That was some of just the fastest real-time design work I've
Yeah.
done.
So how much back and forth testing and tweaking, and would you say, I mean, it must have, 2 years total.
6
But
prototypes.
6 prototypes. So you'd make one, wear test it, you put it in the lab and test it out and then tweak it.
We did
They were
2
testing
protos in the
on-
lab.
Right, and
Yeah.
and even in between, when I would get my wear testers in, for other purposes, I would put it on, and I had women coming in who'd had unilateral mastectomy, for example, getting all of that feedback. So just from my point of view of expanding my expertise, it's been amazing for me to be able
Really
to have this
learning
this product on women.
Yeah.
I think the other thing from a technology side, this being a seamless technology, it's even more difficult, complicated to do the turnaround time on a seamless sports bra, for example, to program in the machine, figure out the changes, actually knit it and to test it. It's just much more difficult than saying, okay, we're going to make this little change in the pattern piece to change the curve. So, of course, Holly and Rocky had to pick the most difficult way of making this up.
That makes it the best.
But in terms of comfort and what we need to have.
Seamless product is a whole other animal.
Yes.
And finding the right yarn to produce your seamless product from, and that's where also the business side comes in, where you want to produce the best product available, but we also wanted to make it affordable.
Right.
Because one of the things that we find, compression bras that people were getting after the hospital were $100, $200, $400.
Wow.
And that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot for something that you may or may not wear after.
Right.
So it was kind of a twofold, where we wanted to make it affordable and achievable, but still be high quality.
Yeah, that you can.
And that people could actually wear after their surgery if they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So that we had a garment that could transition with them as they journeyed through to hopefully better health. So we want them to feel better, so they get better. Yeah. And activity is a large part of that.
Yeah, even into the physical therapy part, which was really important for us.
Yeah.
Right?
Was it hard to find a maker then, with all of these kind of
leads
leads that you wanted to put into it?
As part of that, finding the best of who does what, Lejean had given us a design consultant who's been working in seamless technology since 1998. When kind of the first circular knit machines were coming into production, the production level.
Okay.
More than just some 50 runs or whatnot. So as they were coming into production, this designer that we're working with was starting to work with seamless knit. So she is so thankfully a consultant. So we were able to have this woman whose whole life is seamless work with us directly. And she's been working with a particular mill that she's been working with since 1998.
Okay.
So
really good partner.
Really good partner and super great people. The expediter, the mill coordinator, the factory coordinator that works with our designer and then with our technical team. She's super positive, super
same attitude that you
yes.
Just
so we have that on our factory side.
Yeah.
We'd originally wanted to produce in North America, but there's no one in North America doing seamless in large production.
Yeah.
There's 2 mills, and we've tried protos out of both of them, but again, the quality was really important to us.
Domestically?
Yeah.
So originally we wanted to produce domestically, and we had to go international to get the quality and quantity that we were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And the size. We were limited by the loom sizes here too.
Okay.
Right. So because we wanted to, we even have tried to create a triple XL, but even with the existing looms in China, the largest is a 24-inch loom, so we cannot do a double XL.
I was going to ask you about the sizing for the bras too. So what is
good? We will totally get there.
What is the size?
Yeah. So I think kind of stepping back in terms of on the production side. So once we decided to go with our team in China on the factory side, it was what material are we going to use? And they brought us this yarn from Nilit that is antibacterial, and it's also high-tech, high-performance. So you can wash it a lot, you can wear it a lot, it's not going to smell, you don't have to take it off, because that's the other thing, post-surgically,
you leave it on
your arms, you don't want to have to take anything off. So I would say I put our huggers to the ultimate
true test.
I did. I wore it all the time. We wanted to make sure that what we were saying about our product is authentic and true. And I did. I wore it for 19 days. I do hot yoga. I hike. I went to spin class.
Wow.
and I never washed it. And I can tell you, it never smelled bad. It was crazy.
Wow.
It sometimes took about 2 hours to dry when it was fully wet, because it is a compressive garment. So The weave is quite tight to get the compression level that we needed.
Some.
But it did dry and it did not smell. We misused the product as much as we could. So I threw it in with my dog beds to wash. You know, is it going to smell? Is it going to get hair all over it? Is the Velcro going to stick to it? Is the color going to? And it was amazing. So
True.
it passed every test.
That's a true wear test right there.
Yeah, dirty mop heads.
Wow.
We did.
Wow.
And we did have a
Anything.
couple of technical considerations. We needed something that wasn't latex based as far as yarn goes, and we wanted something that wasn't silver based for the antibacterial, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to work on that, and that's what also began to lead us towards nylene.
Okay, so what is the fiber? What's the fabric content in the?
Yeah, actually we
Like
do.
90,
90% nylon, 10% spandex.
Okay, so 10% spandex is a good amount of stretch and support.
Well, we wanted it to be body friendly because that's the other piece. Body morphologies are very different. Some people have. Yeah, I have my hugger on. Actually, I wear it quite often. We wanted it to be something that people could put on and it would fit a lot of different bodies and fit it well and without having to figure out what's this size, what's that size. I have body fat here, I have body fat here. You know, I have more breast tissue here or down here.
Yeah.
So this is a very body friendly garment and that was important to us to be able to capture.
Yeah.
And I think too, where we're looking at 2/3 of Americans being overweight or obese, and if you are overweight or obese, your risk of breast cancer goes up. So where we're looking at a post-mastectomy bra, the odds that we are working with larger bodies that need friendly boundaries and to really be comfortable on that body, we realized right away that we needed to size toward that because that's real women.
Yeah.
And a lot of the little details, which it's quite difficult to see, as you know, in a finished garment, all the thought that's gone in and the design, but the little details, we really worked hard in the wear testing on the little details. And when we say wear test, we actually worked with surgeons during that wear test.
Okay.
But you know, the most amazing thing, the very first wear tester, I had the hugger on, and she had just the unilateral on one side mastectomy. She goes into my dressing room and she's so body confident, didn't even shut the door. She puts on the hugger, she zips it up, she looks at herself in the mirror and she said, I look fantastic. I could wear this out somewhere. And I thought, you know, and I was thinking as the scientist, all of this function, but then when I realized this made her feel beautiful.
How great.
And confident. Yeah, that was the best.
Well, the product sounds amazing. Could you just walk through the features and
It has compression in the areas that you need it the most. So in your axillary area, upper pole, lower pole, but on the band, that it's slightly less compressive for comfort, and that in areas where we don't need compression, that we're allowing the body to breathe a little bit more because again, it's a compression garment.
We put the anchor point, the actual anchor point for the garment, the low anchor point, low on the ribs where the ribs begin to taper in. And that is so that these incisions that are made beneath the breast tissue, that those don't get the garment rolling up and under and into the incision part.
right? You get kind of bunching up under there.
Exactly.
Right.
When you sit, sometimes there'll be some roll. It doesn't increase that compression and it doesn't increase the pressure. So it's again that body-friendly design that we were looking for, where it would fit a lot of bodies and a lot of different morphologies of where fat tends to pocket because everybody is different. Yeah, and even little bodies, big bodies, medium bodies, we all have these different areas that do different things, especially when we sit.
To make a product that fits all those bodies is really difficult.
Yeah.
So thinking about all those comfort aspects that you guys considered and put into that, the thought and the design of it is.
Yeah, so there's technological aspects about every piece of this, and then there's the comfort aspects. Technology and comfort in terms of what we need for construction, the adjustable
Shoulder straps.
shoulder strap, so it can lay flat on the operating table and be put onto the patient while they're leaving their surgery.
Just like this, and this is also the reason that we made our branding so simple, is to reduce waste and also to make it very easy
Just
for
to
the professionals
Take
to
it right off.
take it off.
Yeah.
So what they'll do is they'll lay that down on the first layer that goes on the table is sterile. Then they'll put a sterile paper over the top of this,
I was wondering about that.
right? And then they place the patient on it. But then, so once they dress the patient, it's called dressing instead of bandaging, they can put it on, adjust it right there on the table as the patient isn't even conscious yet. Okay. Then these nice little G hooks come in, which
Right.
maybe you'll show.
Right.
So it's easy.
So there's two.
Yes.
There's one at the bottom
and one in the
and one at center mass,
Yeah,
Okay.
so that it holds everything in as you zip.
before you zip.
that's right. It makes
Okay.
the zip really easy, and also for the patient after they take their first shower, especially the arms cannot raise above the shoulder level
Okay.
if they're that
Sensitive.
sore.
Which is why the underwire free is so important.
Yeah.
Because you don't
don't
feel
want-
something if there's a wire. If a wire pokes out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't feel it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we had to, one of the design briefs was to stay away from Velcro.
Yeah.
Because it
I love that
picks
you
up
did.
foreign bodies so easily, right? And you want
Yeah.
to keep the
You're trying to
surgical area as clean as possible.
keep it as sterile.
So there are several things that we really wanted to do. We wanted to take all seams out of the garment if possible, right? And that's why we started looking into seamless so strongly.
Yeah.
So we tried to put plackets to protect, so the body isn't touching any metal or anything that's coarse.
Right. So underneath here, so that the zipper is, your body's always protected from any friction point.
The other thing that we wanted to do was if a woman was having a unilateral surgery, that she could still be symmetrical, right? So we wanted to put these pockets in, plus we wanted the surgeons to be able to put more padding in. But what's really wonderful is what patients have been doing is using the pockets to ice.
So the original
Oh my
design
goodness.
concept was to just allow for additional padding.
Yeah.
But
They're
where it's
putting ice
gone, is aesthetic and ice. You know, some
That's
women
brilliant.
with lumpectomies are using a
It's-
thicker pad, so it adds symmetry.
Okay.
It also, you can put your prosthetic.
Yeah.
If you have a prosthetic, it fits right in.
Yeah.
So it was our original design concept, when we get back to design, wasn't that multifunctional, but it's become really multifunctional.
Yeah.
And the other piece on the comfort side that was really important to us is this is a compressive garment. Again, I have my regular size hugger. I wear a medium, and then this is a large so that we could see it a little more clearly on my black outfit. But it's still compressive. You know, it's made to keep everything where it should be, and it's to the spec that the doctors were really interested in. But if you're wearing it 24/7 and you have to sleep in it as well, which you do, it can feel compressive. And so this extender, I can't remember where this product design was born out of. It was kind of this,
It was
let's
born,
do something.
Let me remind you, it was born because the looms weren't big enough, and we had to do. We felt we
For
had to do
larger
a
bodies.
triple XL,
without.
right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
so the triple XL
Yeah.
was really important to us to be able to provide. Yeah, so this placket, which works, we call it the extender because it extends and adds some breathing room. It works just like the hugger, so you do your 2 eye hooks. It's actually easier when it's physically on your body, but
I love the hook idea because I know that trying to hold everything and then zip it is not easy to
they're
do.
lower. Some breasts are thinner.
Trying to
and
hold everything
higher, and some tissue is here, and some of it's here, and we've learned so much about boobs.
Who knew?
Who knew? And that all boobs are not created equal. You know, they are all really different.
But the thing to remember is, late this last summer, I broke my ribs, and I took I pulled the modesty cookies out, and I wore that, and I could breathe, because, right? And I'll put one on for you. It looks fine.
Yeah.
So it will serve for gynecomastia. There's a Marine who's had surgery. He's a giant of a man. He's like 240 pounds of all muscle. And he had surgery in one of them.
And more one.
And the gynecomastia is a hormonal imbalance when men start developing breasts.
And just remembering, because we are also kind of part of what we actually designed it for and what it's now become. we designed it for post-surgical breast cancer patients, but obviously it works with all surgeries, breast surgeries. So we've expanded our awareness on that. And also it works for activity. So, you know, we have so many people, D cup or higher, or just runners that are looking for a good compression bra, are wearing our hugger. So the compression is, oh, here you go, Rock.
Look at that.
Ta-da!
So I can just imagine, any kind of person that has, I mean, it could be, I don't know, any kind of
so
surgery
you don't
or
have
pain,
to
or you're
ever
just getting that extra support.
Yeah.
The thing that you can see on me too is how is the armhole and how we got the compression in the axilla, which is kind of the low point. If you think of your body as mountains and valleys, this is the deepest valley, right here.
So does that mean that
So that means that's where fluid will tend to accumulate
from
and then the healing, post-surgically, the healing can take place because the fluid's in between the two layers. Layers of the skin.
So as far as the seamless construction goes, is there a difference? Like you can set the machine to do different tensions and
Absolutely.
and patterns, right? So under this part where you're saying it's so critical, does it get tighter?
We do have 4
Or
different
how
compression
you-
weaves, and you can see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this part is a little bit tighter than say like this part.
yeah. Then like the breast pocket.
Yeah, and you can actually
That's
see.
so cool that you can.
It's very hard, but you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see this line?
Yeah, it's kind of okay.
So we have our different compression lines within the garment.
So that's a whole feat of engineering.
Deciding our compression lines changed a few times, our compression levels within the lines.
Yeah.
And the thing is, every time we introduce a stitch component, a seam, something like that, it creates a force line under tension and it will get tight before the rest of the garment. So that's potentially something that's going to press in and be uncomfortable. With seamless, it just distributes the force. There's just
That's what's so amazing about
no
seamless.
harsh edges or differences between components in compression. So important because of the discomfort and the tenderness.
I don't know how to transition easily, but you know, kind of moving from the hugger to what we were getting back from consumers and in working with the Jean and getting a body-friendly design that actually works that's comfortable, but you can wear maybe just to go to the grocery store and you haven't had surgery, but you want something maybe not quite as full coverage as the hugger, because we're getting so many questions. Do you have something that's just slightly less compressive,
Well,
or
that's your
a little bit less
maybe
clinical.
phase 2 of your business building is.
So we just got Proto 2 back of that.
You already on it.
And
I've heard of this.
Can you show us
honestly.
now, or
Absolutely.
yeah, so it's going to look like something you may have seen, but I can tell you it's not. So I'll put it on
somehow I
over.
believe you.
Yeah, it's very different material. I don't want you to show this part, but we can just like tie it in. So it has the same great construction as our hugger in terms of yarn and technology. But as you can see, it's a lot less in terms of material. But what you can hopefully maybe see is we used again that seamless weave technology and the different compression points
See the shading
in the cup so that you still get this really wonderful shape around the cup area. So you're not getting uniboob, you're still getting breasts, but you get that really great technology where you can still front zip, lock zip, so nothing's gonna move. Adjustability, these are also padded.
Does it have a ring and slider on for the strap?
does.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I like the wide back because it's more
Well,
kind of eliminating.
and we debated a lot on that one, and we've had it lower, we've had it higher, but again, one of the beautiful things about having it higher is that the side boob and back fat thing that happens,
You're holding more in.
yes, and you get more structure and less drag here.
So when is that one available on the market?
September.
Consumer
at this point.
Are you selling directly to hospitals, like as a wholesale, and then
Yes.
or do you? Is that how you
Mhm.
sell it? Okay.
So we sell directly to hospitals wholesale, and we also do online consumer sales and retail stores. And there's one here in Portland, Just Like a Woman, that's carrying our hugger.
great.
Our first sale was beginning of December you know,
Wow.
because we didn't get our product until November 30th, I think.
Yeah.
That's
So,
exciting.
you know, we're really new.
Yeah, well, it's a great story. It's a great product. I'm so impressed, and it's so great that you guys could share this with us. It's
Thanks for asking
super,
us.
super exciting.